Hello and welcome all. So, today we are going to dive into a very fun and interesting lesson. Well, it's story writing. Are you ready? Let's begin. Alright, so we'll start by reading a story named Krish's Adventure. Okay? One afternoon, little Krish was walking home from school. He loved this part of the day and could imagine whatever he wanted. He picked up a thin branch and pretended to slay monsters. The huge trees on the way made perfect monsters. While he was happily slaying, he stumbled upon a rock. Thud! He fell. But his eyes caught something. He had crossed this road many times, but had never seen a secret road that went into the jungle. Krish got excited and walked towards the jungle. The road was narrow with bright green ferns growing on the sides. Walking inside the jungle, he found broken stone walls covered with creepers. An ancient temple, he said to himself. There were huge stone pieces that once belonged to this temple, many years ago. The jungle was not a safe place for a small child, and he knew it. His mother had asked him not to wander in such places, so he decided never to tell anyone about his adventure. However, while turning back, he came across a statue of Lord Buddha. This temple must be restored, he told himself. At dinner, Krish told his parents about his little adventure. His parents first scolded him for walking into the jungle. On the other hand, Krish asked his parents to do something about the old temple. I'm sure it is of great importance, mother, he added. His mother was proud to see him feel so strongly about the old temple. His parents contacted the archaeological department, which works on restoring ancient temples. The temple was restored, all thanks to Krish. Okay, so did you enjoy reading the story? I hope it was fun. Now, the written piece that we just read is a story, right? And a story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. In a story, we know the characters, their names, where and when things happen, and the order of events. A story also has a title, like Krish's Adventure, in the story that we just read. So, a story is a connected series of events that happens over time. Okay. Now, let's learn about the structure of a story. So, the first part is introduction, that is the beginning. Now, in the first paragraph, we learned about the main character, right? The main character and a situation have been introduced here that leads us to the story. Therefore, this is called an introduction because we're introduced to the characters. For example, we're introduced to Krish in the story. So it includes the main character's name, feelings, and interests. Okay, now his actions or thoughts are shown to help us understand who he is. Why? Because so that we can understand the story in a better way as we proceed. Okay, we also get to know where and when the story takes place. So the introduction, the beginning part is an important part. Then we have the middle, which is the problem. Now, the second paragraph is the middle section where all the main events take place. Okay, this part of the story adds more to the beginning and goes towards the exciting middle part where things change a lot. Okay, from introduction, we move to the problem where there is addition of more events that take part. Okay, now the excitement and curiosity increase as the main character prepares to face the biggest problem, which will be present in the middle. Okay, then we have the conclusion. That is the end. Now, the third paragraph is the conclusion where the biggest problem gets fixed. Okay, the characters decide and take action to make things better. Okay, the problem is solved and we come to a conclusion, which is the end, right? Now, let's answer some questions from the story itself to understand the introduction, the middle, and the end properly. Okay. Now, what is the name of the main character in Krish's adventure? Now, what do you feel? Who is the main character in the story Krish's Adventure? Yes, the name of the main character in the story, Krish's Adventure, is Krish. Krish is the main character in the whole story. Now, was the character feeling good? What do you think? Was the character feeling good? Yes, the character was feeling good because he loved this part of the day. He loved this part of the day. And this is the introduction. You remember? We were introduced to the character, which is Krish, okay, who is the main character. And then we are also introduced to his feelings. So he was feeling good. Our main character, Krish, was feeling good. Why? Because he loved this part of the day. So this is our introduction. We are introduced to Krish. Then, what was the biggest problem in the story? Okay, let's find out what was the biggest problem in the story. Now, the biggest problem in the story was that Krish found a statue of Lord Buddha in a jungle. Now, the statue needed to be restored, but he could not tell anyone as he was not allowed to go there. So, this is the problem. This is the middle part of the story. Okay, so this was the biggest problem in the story, that Krish, our main character, whom we are introduced to in the beginning, had found a statue of Lord Buddha inside a jungle, and the statue needed to be restored, but he could not tell anyone. Why? Because he was not allowed to go there. So this was our biggest problem. Now, how was the biggest problem solved? Okay, yes, the biggest problem was solved when Krish told his parents about his adventure. Although he got scolded, his parents ensured that the statue was restored. So, this was how the problem of the main character, which is Krish, his problem was solved, and this is our conclusion. It was a happy conclusion, okay, because the statue was restored. Okay, congratulations. I hope you enjoyed today's session and it was a learning session as well. So thank you. See you in the next session. Goodbye.